Sorry about my horrible desk space. Tried to clear it up a bit before making this video. So, as I'm sure you could read by the thumbnail, I'm going to be taking apart this transmitter. So it's a Hubsan transmitter for the Hubsan h501A. I don't think it's compatible with h501S because it uses Wi-Fi. I'm going to be seeing what's inside it. I don't think anyone's ever done a video like this before. So we'll be seeing what's inside here. So I've done this before I did this, so I knew what I was doing. So you don't need to worry. I'm pretty sure it's not going to break. It's fairly easy to unscrew if you have the right stuff, which I do. You know, the thing about Hubsan is they are very easy to take apart and repair because they're quite easy to break as well. A lot of things have gone wrong with mine, and the GPS came out at one point, but you know, it happens. Right. Here we go. So you can see here, this is a spring lock. So essentially, if you can see, that basically makes it go up and down. So that's what holds the phone in place. This is the interior. So we'll just turn this on. It's fully functional. So we take it apart. So there's some interesting elements in here actually. Of course, if you're wanting to repair it and you're a bit worried about what parts are what parts, then this is a good video for you. Just so you know what you're doing if you're going to take it apart. As I say, I'm fairly experienced with this. Wouldn't exactly call myself a Hubsan professional, but I've definitely done things like this before. So, right. So to take this off, you should be really, really careful because there are hidden screws. Like I've taken this apart before, so this has come off. But before this was folded down, you need to make sure that all of the screws are undone to double check it. Because if you get a screw and you keep on yanking at it, then it will break. So if you pull it, it doesn't come off. It's dangerous. Just try and take all the screws off. To take out the component parts, such as replacing battery here, you'll need to take off these, and of course unplug the battery. Right, a screw went there somewhere or something. As I say, I had a h501A for this once. That got absolutely obliterated. The thing I found about a h501A is its shell or chassis is very, very, very weak, and it can break very easily. So I couldn't have that. Okay, so what we got here is we got the motherboard, if you were, sort of controls everything, connects with a phone. You know, it's unplugged, but this is what it looks like. If we just plug it in here, which I think will be quite interesting. Yep. There we go. So the lights here are actually LEDs. They come off this directly. Okay. So now I know you're all dying to see what's inside here. I'm trying to make this as exciting as it can be. So to get the actual battery out, you only need to undo one screw. You don't want to undo both screws because then the whole thing can just come apart. So the battery is really interesting actually, and something I've found is with my Hubsan H501C, if you are familiar with that name, this drone has been lurking in the corner. It actually plugs up with this quite nicely. So if you don't want to do any flight, it will be heavier, but that would work. It doesn't fit in here. I've checked. I'll show you. Yeah, see, it doesn't fit in there, but you could just sellotape or blue tack it on. Again, you know, this is a really nice drone, it goes really fast, so you wouldn't want to do that, but if you wanted more flight time and you're in there for photography, that's something you'd like to do. Also, I think it's important to indicate, if you do this, battery life is being used up. Right, I'm pretty sure these are transmitters. They look like GPS modules, which is probably so because the h501A is a very GPS dependent drone. They might be Wi-Fi modules also. I think you can, these are basically the antenna. This is what controls the drone. So want to replace these, go to the Hubsan website. The thing I found about the Hubsan website, if you live in the UK, I think if you live in the US, they're a bit better with shipping, but in the UK they're a bit worse. So anyway, that's enough of me babbling on. If you want to put together a drone, of course, if you've if you've seen the video, but just stay tuned, because putting it back together is also quite a hard process, harder than it looks, but not too hard anyway. So battery, as I say, it connects with this, and it's a really convenient plug. Hubsan use this a lot, and I believe other drone companies. So if you wanted to make a home-built drone, then you could just take apart this. As I say, if you've broken your h501A, which could be like me, you just need one of these, and you could basically create more drones, and you could actually sell them for more. You could take away the component parts of a h501A like I have done. Well, I've got h501S as well. It's a funny story of that, actually. What happened was I left the h501S at Hainsbury Head. It's a place in the UK if you live in the US or haven't heard of it before. Basically, Hainsbury Head is a huge spit of land, which means a huge sort of a huge cliff face essentially, and it got left there, and we had to somebody managed to find it. Thank the Lord they did, and it was still working. So the h501S could survive a lot, and it was great because we had already said the return home feature didn't work, because it didn't to those people, and they gave us a h501A, and the h501A crashed by then. So we just sort of had to work through that, and it was like we got a free drone out of it. Then it crashed, of course, which is a bit of a shame. If you do have a h501A, don't put your phone near it, even when you're doing follow me, because in fact that's how it got crashed, because we were a bit optimistic. I got a splinter there. But yeah, just try not to crash a h501A. A h501S survives pretty well. In fact, I've dropped it from 200 feet and it survived. It's the strongest drone, but h501A. As I say, don't crash it. It's a good drone. In fact, it is as good as the h501S. It's just the plastic. I believe the colour's different, and that's it. That's the only difference. It can even connect to the h501S's controller, which is quite interesting to know, and we found that out the easy way. It's also a great phone if you are less frequently on your smartphone, which I was, and it's a good drone to have. So I believe what you do is you connect this one up here, then this antenna up here, see? And plug these back in, because it already has an on-off switch. Check this is all functional. You wouldn't want this out. So it's all fine. Something else. I think I got the red one, so maybe I was a bit wrong. So wait, sorry. You've got to be really careful with this, because it can break very, very easily. Okay, sorry about that. That's just resetting. So if the antenna is red, then that means you got them the wrong way around. It looks as if that's fine. Right. That's fine. Okay, so now we've got all that ready, you can just put this back on. Oh, something you also need to be very careful about is losing screws. I can't stress that enough. Losing screws is, pun not intended, it will screw you. Sorry about that. And yeah, putting the chassis back on isn't too much struggle. I found it's actually quite easy. Don't worry about that one. I believe that's it. Just pop the chassis back up, top bit back on like this. As you can see, it's green now, which means you're good. So, of course, if you watch this video, again, just to see which antennas mean which, because I got a bit confused there. No one's a professional apart from other people at Hubsan. But until it turns green, just keep on resetting it every time you plug in a transmitter, and it seemed to work. Probably won't corrupt the system, you didn't mind. So, as I say, if you've crashed your h501A, and you want to sell the parts, then this is the thing to do it with. And Also, I found it worked better with the H501S controller, even though you can do more stuff. It definitely has more range. Again, the H501S controller is extremely expensive, and it comes cheaper with the H501S itself. Yep. Where are my screws? Anyway, I think you can probably guess what I'm doing from here, just screwing it up. Turn off. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for Flying Photography if you like this video. Also like, I believe that's the purpose of the button. I'm really sorry about the angle I took this from. Phone quality isn't the best. Thanks for watching. I'll see you.